All right, right now in the 5 series, we're back from Japan and raring to go, and we're going to dive straight into it. We're going to look at Avant Garde Records today, right? Five of my favorite Avant Garde albums. This doesn't include jazz, because Avant Garde jazz is a whole other thing to me. These are just Avant Garde abstract records that are hard to describe, but I love. First up, the George Edwards Group. Now, this is like outsider rock, almost like space rock, and it's the definition of, that Nike slogan, just do it. This guy just went out and did it. It's unfinished ideas. At its core, it's like psych folk demos, but they're endearing, and they wash over you and put you in this weird sort of trance. um I feel like, or maybe I read this, I'm not sure. I feel like they only printed, like, it was a demo. It was like cassettes. They printed like 20, 30 cassettes in the 70s or the 60s, and somehow the cassettes got out there and somebody reissued it and put this piece of work out. The George Edwards Group, totally abstract. It's up to you whether you dig it or not. I personally like it, but it's an abstract avant-garde record, and that's what we're talking about today. Next up, Novak for Fifth Word. It's like, you ever watch Formula One, and the cars are getting ready to go, and the guy just puts down the flag and just shoot off. That's what this record is. This guy, just from the first beat, he's just off to the races, and it's really psych, but it's out there. It's like, I've mentioned this record before. It's this guy who can't really sing, chanting, and being borderline belligerent on the microphone over these like psyched out organs and thumping bass lines. There's no genre to describe this, and that's what we're talking about today. Avant-garde records. Um, Sound songs. This is a vocalist and a drummer. It's the closest we have here to avant-garde jazz. It's just a drummer going through various drum patterns, and this female vocalist, Jay Clayton, I believe her name is, right. Jay Clayton, yeah, and the drummer is Jerry Granelli, and she's just, as sometimes she glides over the drums, as sometimes she fights with the drums, sometimes the drums fight with her, but it makes for a compelling listen, and I dig it. It's called Sound Songs, aptly titled. Next up, Princess Nicotine. Now, this is a compilation by Sublime Frequencies, the reissue label, and it's music out of Myanmar. 50 years of music apparently, but it sounds very retro. It sounds very 50s and 60s, and it's just these incomprehensible rhythms. These rhythms that just bounce all over the place, and it's hard to comprehend what they're getting at with these beats. And for a large part of for a lot of these songs, there's like a female chanting over the records. You sometimes get vocalists on these beats, but none of them can hold these beats down. These beats have a mind of their own, and they go where they want to go. It's definitely a quiet taste, and I'm summarizing it really in a like swift manner, and it deserves more of a full-on summary, but it's something to check out. Definitely a quiet taste. I bought it, and when I bought it, I never liked it. And when I played it a few more times, it kind of grew on me. It's one of those records, Avant Garde. Now, this one I've mentioned before, out of Ethiopia, Susanna Jebre Isis, out of Ethiopia. It's her singing hymns over this instrument. I can't remember the name of the instrument. It's called a bergran, maybe bergran. But anyway, it's like a bass line. It's like her humming and chanting these mantras over this archaic bass line, and it's a record that you just submit to and get into. I really dig it, but it's avant-garde, like all of these records, avant-garde. But anyway, we're back. Hi-Fi Recluse is the name of the group. Good Fine Records is the name of the label. We're back from Japan. Let's get it.